But it's foolish to talk about it that way. Very foolish. But that's what it is. So really the nature of your mind is to be not moving, but also the nature of mind is to be moving. Our problem is we're not familiar, we're ignorant of the not moving mind. But if you meditate enough, you so I don't know. I love this teaching of Karam Dorji, his Final Testament. It's supposed to be secret as shit, but it's out there. A lot of good books on it. The Golden Letters is my favorite. It's not that difficult a book. It's not peanuts, but you can understand that book. The text is not very long, really. That the commentary in that one is Patro Rinpoche, who's quite famous. Always speak about him again. So the three words that strike the vital point. The first is training in the view. What's the view? View probably the same as the fruition in a certain way. I mean, if you understand the view, you're there, you know. And there's different levels of probably understand the view. When you're, you know, getting started, the view is, you know, sit there and don't move around a lot and train your mind, you know. And don't be following your thoughts all the time. So, you know, it's all these things we've been talking about. Training mindfulness awareness. The view is training mindfulness awareness. Training shamatha, training vipassana. Training shamatha, training vipassana. Training shamatha, training vipassana. The really vital point. What sets us apart? What sets us, these Nyingma Vikagis are no different. What sets us apart, once we've, you know, really honed in on the non-moving mind and you familiarize yourself with the non-moving mind. But you could become biased toward the non-moving mind. That could happen. You could develop a dullness that is aligned with the non-moving mind, but it's not really it. It's kind of dull. You're not really, haven't really understood. But or you could just be attached to the non-moving mind, you know. The nature of the mind is to have thoughts arise. The nature of your mind is just non-moving mind. It's really it, but it's not separate from the nature of your mind, which is that thoughts always arise. The special understanding that we have is how to work with thoughts that arise. If you try to play whack-a-mole with thoughts, if you do anything like that, thinking they're special or thinking they're bad, that's not it. There's a creativity. Your mind is creative as a thought arises. Or another way of saying it Because you can relate with thoughts as they arise in such a way. It's like Alexander, it's like what we're teaching. It's the Tao. It's what we're trying to teach you. You can say that thought arising is a mistake. That's not a mistake. It could become a mistake. And I could explain how, maybe. I don't know if I really can or not. But what is beautiful about all this is when the Tibetans say, get the message, don't entertain the messenger. Our problem is when a thought arises, we want to sit down and have tea and talk it over with the messenger who brought that thought. That's what you don't want to do. That's what you don't want to do. What you want to do is get the message, don't entertain the messenger. So the thought arises, there's a potential healing. There's a potential healing to be had if you get the message and don't entertain the messenger. If you entertain the messenger and you string two thoughts together, that could be an error. That's probably an error. Errors are not bad. Errors are opportunities to arise joyfully in the moment and get a healing and free the thought and return to the other aspect of the nature of mind, which is usually the one, rest my mind in the nature of my mind. I want to rest my mind in the nature of my mind. I want to rest my mind in the nature of my mind. So, that nature, one aspect of it is an unmoving mind, a mind that doesn't move. But it doesn't preclude a healthy relationship and a creative relationship and a healing relationship and this process of learning, this process of growing, this process of developing, this process of purification. You could say, although there's nothing to be purified, but when you go and string two thoughts together, let's hope we get things going before we go for three, man. That could be real trouble. Or it's just the creative aspect of our mind we let go, but it gets a little dicier the further you string those thoughts together. The more you sit down there and entertain the messenger, the more dicier it gets. But it's all just a process of liberation, learning. So the special way we relate with thoughts, we don't start a fight and we don't instigate a party. We get the message and we rest our mind in the nature of our mind, but there's no aggression there, there's no bias there, there's no one-sided, this middle way. We're in the middle way between accepting and rejecting. We don't try to kill anybody's creativity. We don't try to kill the creative aspect of the mind. So, you can spend a long time working on the view. I mean, that's endless, really. But it is said in this teaching that you may reach a point, you will reach a point when it occurs to you that it could be time to make a commitment. The second stage of these 3 words that strike the vital point is you will make a commitment. You will begin to understand that this is the thing, this is the deal. This work is the only interesting thing going on around here. And anything else is avoiding relationship, avoiding I once got some powerful teachings at a time in my life. You probably heard of this guy. I'm completely lost as far as the time goes.